Hello everyone, welcome to the student Diwan. In this video, we will see the finance section of the student Diwan and how to manage the finance. Here in the sidebar, you can see this is the finance section. You will see the categories, entities, inventory, all of the things inside the finance. Now we will discuss all these in this video. Now first we will start with the categories. Here you can see this is the main page of the category section of the finance module. Here at the top you can see the overview summary like total categories, total revenue categories, total asset categories, total expense categories. Here you will see the categories related to finance like expense categories, assets and revenue. Below the summary you can see you can search the categories by the name in this search bar. Also, you can see by this drop down like revenue, assets, and expenses, all these categories. Now, this is the list of all the categories. Here you can see. Here you will find all the records. Now, we have total 31 records here. You can go through these pages also. Here in categories, you will see category name, category for description, and action. In action, here you see view icon. Here you will see all the details of the category when you click on this. Here you see category name, category type, description, and icon. Now on this edit button, you can edit the details of this category like change the category for change name description. Also you can change the icon and select any other icon. Then you have to click on the update full information. Now let's see how to add a new category. To add a new category, click on this add category button, give it a name. We will give it a name like let's put shoes type field revenue description shoes for students. We will add a new icon here. Let's add a new icon. We will click on the download shoes. Select the icon here and give the icon a name and then click on the create. Now the icon is created. You can also edit and delete icon from here. Now let's select this icon and add a category. Here our new category is created. You can also edit it from here and view the details here. Now this is all in the category section. Now let's move on to the next section, which is entities. This is the main page of the entities section in the finance module. Here you can see all the entity records you can see, and here you can manage all the entities like maintenance, contractor, transport, service, all the type of entities. Here you will see all the details of the entities like entity name, entity type, contact, email, and actions. In actions, here is the view icon. You can see details of the entity by clicking on this. Like you will see basic information, banking details, and taxation and terms. Now, if you want to edit the details of any entity, click on this edit icon, and you can edit any details, any field here, like basic info or banking or taxation. and then click on this update entity. Your entity will be updated. Now let's see how to add a new entity. To add a new entity, click on the add entity button. Here you will give the entity name, new marketing agency, title, service providers, then contact number, alternate contact number is optional. You will give an email, then address, then country, then you have to give the banking details. It's optional. You can give here account holder name, bank name, account number, IBN, so SWIFT or BIC code and IFSC code. Now below is the taxation and terms. You will enter the taxation detail there and payment terms. You can check all the terms here and then click on the add entity. Here our new entity is added successfully. Now this is all in the entities. Now let's move on to the next section, which is inventory. This is the main page of the inventory section. Here at the top you can see the overview of the cards like total inventory items, low stock alerts, expiring soon items, or total inventory values. Below that you can see the inventory categories. These are the same categories which we added here in the finance, this category section. And when you click on this add new category, you will be redirected to the categories page. Here you can add new categories. Now here is the inventory list. This is the summary list of the inventory items. If you want to check all the records of inventory items, click on this view more button. Here you will see all the records of the inventory. You can search here details by the name or SKU code, or you can search by these filters like available stocks, out of stocks, or damaged stocks. Now how to add a new item. To new item, click on this the add new item button. Here give it a name. Let's give it a name like we will add a printer, SKU code. We will give a unique code here for this item. Then quantity, then the unit. We will select a piece, unit price. Then on this button like low stock alert, you can set the alert on or off. Like if you select yes, you will get the low stock alert. Then we have to select a category. Let's select technology. Then the supplier. Let's say Arabian Tech Solutions. Then you have to give number of damaged quantities. It's optional. Then low stock number. Let's say 10 will be low stock number. Then order date. Then the delivery date. And here you can also add expiry date, which is optional. Let's say 12 is expiry date. Now we will add this inventory item. Here you can see this item is added. You can also edit the details by clicking on this button. You can edit any of this field and then click on the update. Also you can see the details of the list here. Here you will see all the details of the inventory item. Now this is all in the inventory section of the finance. Now let's see the entity revenue section. This is the main page of the entity revenue section. Here at the top you can see the overview where you can see total collected amount, amount not collected or total amount. And below you will see the graph of this yearly graph. You can also select the monthly graph and check for every month. Like for this February month, it's 0. For January, you can see all the records. Here you can go to the any month and you can see the yearly and select any year here. Now below is the summary of this entity revenue. You can see the recent entity revenues here, and to view all the records, click on this view more button. Here you can see all the records of the entity revenue. Here at the top of the page, you can see the search bar. You can search by name or the email or this invoice number, and you can also filter by this status filter like paid, unpaid, and also you can check by this active and cancelled status like this active or cancelled. And here in the list you can see here in actions. This is the invoice. You can check the invoice here, like you can see the current version or the initial versions of your invoice, and you can also download the PDF by click on this button. This PDF will be downloaded, and here this is the cancel button. This button will show up with the invoices whose receipt is been cancelled, and you can also cancel it from here. Like I will cancel this one, confirm. You will see that in the cancelled. Now you can delete the invoices here by click on this button and then delete. But remember, you can delete only those invoices which are not paid and which are unpaid and which are not cancelled by the receipts. Like this one, we cannot delete this as it's unpaid, but it is deleted by the receipt, so this one cannot be deleted. This receipt can be deleted because it's unpaid and receipt is not created for this one. This is how we can delete this. You can also export the records through a Excel file. Here give the name like entity revenues and click on the export button. So all the records will be exported here in the Excel file. Now you can also see details of this items here. Click on this drop down button. You will see the item name, quantity, rate, final rate, everything here. Now how to add a new invoice. To add a new invoice, click on this button, add new invoice. Here select a category like investment, item details, rate, quantity. Now tax, you can add tax here like 5%. Penalties you can add here and discount. Discount can be percentage or type. Let's set percentage. Give 10% discount. Frequency you can add monthly, half yearly, yearly, custom dates. Now let's select purchase, permanent purchase. You can add also due date here. It's optional. Now let's give a due date here. Now with the due date you have to give a penalty type. Let's say late payment. Now let's add invoice. Also you can add many items here like add another item. You can add multiple items here and make invoice, and you can also save it in configure. First, we have to select the entity. Now select an entity here, then done. You can save it in configure, give it a title and description. This will be added as a draft later. You can continue and add invoice later. Now let's directly add the invoice. Here our new invoice is added. This is the details of the invoice and you can see the invoice here and download it. Now this is all in the entity revenue section. Now let's see the next section, which is student revenue. This is the main dashboard of the student revenue. Here at the top you can see the overview of the all student fee collection and pending systems. This is the total collected amount, total amount not collected or pending amount, and this is the total amount. Now below you can see the graph of the student fee. You can see yearly and monthly wise also. Here you can see February month. This is the January month graph. And below you can see the summary or recent student fees. This is the recent fees of the students. You can see all the records. Click on the view more button. Here you will see all the records. You can see there are total 551 records, and at the top you can search here by the name or ID. Also you have the status filter, like you can check unpaid, partially paid and paid items. Also you can check by the status active or cancelled items, and you can check by the class and section wise. Class 1, let's see section 1 records. Here are the total 20 records of the class 1 and section 1. Similarly, you can export all the records. You put a name here and then click on the export. The records will be exported as the Excel file. Now here in records you can see this details here, details of the invoice items like name, quantity, rate, and you can see the invoice here. Here you will see the invoice and can download the PDF file here. Now let's see how to add a new student fee invoice. Here click on the add new fee. Here select the category. Let's select the tuition fee. Then item details like monthly fee. We will give rate. Then quantity. Then tax. Let's say 6% tax. Then you can add penalties here and discount type, percentage and amount. Let's say 2% discount, and then you can select their frequency here. Let's select a monthly, start date 1st Feb, end date 28. You can also add the due date, it's optional here. Now let's select the 28, and then you with the due date you have to select the penalty. Let's say late fees, and then you have to select the students here. Here the students are in class and section wise. You can select students from any section. You can select all the students of a section, or you can add few students. Here select those students. Here you can add the students from multiple classes and multiple sections. Let's add few from this section. Also from another class we will add few students. Then we have to confirm students. You can save this in the config as a draft and later you can continue with this. Then you have to give the title and description and save. And you can also directly add fees. Here you can add multiple items, like we will add one another item. Let's say student activity fees, item details, then a rate, quantity, then tax penalty. Now let's add permanent purchase. Now we will add the fee. Here the student fee is added for the selected students. Here you can see this is the invoice of both the items. Now this is all in this student fees. Now let's move on to the next part, which is receipts. This is the main dashboard of the receipts section. Here at the top you can see the overview, which has total receipt issued, total active receipts and total cancelled receipts. Below you can see the recent receipts list. Here you see the recently added receipts. To view all the receipts, click on the view more icon. Here you can see list of all the receipts and here is 146 total records of the receipts. Here you can search by the invoice number or select the cancelled category or active. Also you can check by the states like paid, partially paid and unpaid. Now to add a new receipt, click on this add new receipt button. Here you have to paste or write the invoice number of the entity revenue or the student fees. Now let's add a receipt for the entity revenue. Here we will copy a invoice number and add a receipt. We will paste it here and search. Here you can see this is the receipt of the invoice of entity revenue. Here you can see the details and here you can pay. Now let's pay 378. Here you can change the penalty and discount here also. Now let's add the payment type, online payment date and payer's name. You can also note here. Now let's make a receipt. Now receipt has been created successfully. You can see the invoice here. Here total paid amount is 378. You can download the receipt also. Now we will make a receipt for the student fees. Let's copy a student invoice number and we will paste it here in the receipts. Here you can see there is two items. You can pay both or you can pay one. Let's pay this amount. Now we will partially pay this receipts. Let's pay 300 here and 200 here. Payment type online. Payer's name. Now here you can see the receipt says created and you can see partially paid. You can see total 500 is paid. You can download receipt here. Now this is how you can create and manage the receipts of revenues, student revenues or entity revenues. Now let's move on to the next part, which is operational expense. This is the main page of the operational expenses. Here at the top, you can see the total operational expenses, total paid operational expenses, total unpaid operational expenses. Below, you can see the graph of the operational expenses. This is the yearly wise graph. You can also see monthly wise. Click on this month. You can see any month like January, February, and below you can see the summary of operational expenses. These are the recently created expenses. Click on the view mode to see all the records of the operational expenses. Now here you can search by the name, email, or you can search by these filters like partially paid, paid, pending, also by the active and cancelled. Now how to create a new expense? To create a new expense, click on this create expense, select the category, then select the subcategory. The subcategory you will create the subcategory here in this budget planner. Here you can see these subcategories. These are used in the operational expenses. To create one, simply click select a category here, then make the subcategory here. Now let's see the operational expenses first. Here we will select the category, then subcategory, then give a rate, then quantity, then frequency and units. Then select the user here. You can add multiple items here. Click on this add new item. Then you have to give the payment status. You can give pending, paid, partially paid or hold. Let's make the status paid. Give the payment type. You can give transaction ID, it's optional. Select the date. Now you can save it in config. Also click here, view title and description. You can save it as a draft in the config. Now let's submit it. Here this expense is created. You can see it's paid. Here you can see we have some partially paid, hold and pending states of these operational expenses. We can change these status by click on the edit button. Here you can pay, you can partially pay it or fully pay. Now let's pay it partially. We have paid 300. Payment type view, online, payment date, and you can also add a note here, update. Now you can see this expense is partially paid. Now let's pay it fully. Here you can see remaining amount is 388. Now let's pay that. Now our expense is paid fully. You can see the status paid here. You can also cancel this receipt by click on this and cancel. You will see that in the cancelled expenses. Now this is all about the operational expenses in the finance section. Now let's move on to the next section, which is payroll. This is the main dashboard of the payroll section. Here you can analyze, forecast and plan payroll expenses efficiently. First, this is the overview of the payroll. You can see total payrolls, total paid for payrolls and total unpaid payrolls. This is the graph of the payrolls. You can check monthly graph as well. Now this is the summary of the recent payrolls. You can see all the records. Click on this view more button. Here you will see all the records of the payrolls. Now let's create a new payroll. Click on the create payroll. Select the category. Let's select the teacher salary. Subcategory primary teachers salary for the month of February. Basic salary. Allowance. Leave deduction. Overtime and other adjustments. These are optional. You can add tax here and bonuses. And you can also add more items here. Click on the category. These. For now, we will add just one payroll. Now select users here. You can select teachers, finance, librarian, staff. Now let's select a few teachers here. Now the payment status. Payment date. And we can save this payroll also in the config. Now for now let's submit. You can see the payroll is created and its status is paid. You can also cancel the payroll by click on this cancel and confirm. Now this is how you can add and cancel the payrolls. Now let's move on to the quotation section. This is the dashboard of the quotation section. Here you can view and manage all generated quotations. Here this is the overview cards. Here you can see total quotation, accepted quotation and rejected quotations. Now here click on the view mode to see all the quotations. Now how to add a new quotation. To add new quotation, click on this add new quotation. Here give the receiver name first, then address, then phone number, then email, and the purpose, and quotation date. And then select the items here like building rent, give the description, quantity and rate. You can also add multiple items. Click on this add new item and you can remove item from here. Now let's give due date, tax, then discount. You can also give tax in discount in percentage or in amount. Then government ref and remarks, which is optional. You can also up, upload a document. Here click on the upload, then confirm it and then save the quotation. Now here our new quotation is created. This is our new quotation. You can also preview it like this and you can download the PDF and also you can see it in the forum view. Like click on this view read only. Here you can see all the details in the forum view. Now you can also accept and reject this quotation. Click on the accept. This will be accepted. You can also reject and accepted quotation. Like click on the reject. But if when you reject a quotation, you cannot undo it. Then Now our quotation is successfully rejected. This is all in the quotation list. Now let's move on to the next part, which is budget planner. This is the main dashboard of the budget planner. Here you can see the overview like total budget, budget spent, budget remaining. Here you can see the graph of the budget. This is monthly graph. You can also see the yearly graph. Now, here you can see summary of the budget. Here is the recent budgets added. Click on the view mode to see all the budgets. This is the all records of the budget. Here you can see total 11 records. Now, how to create a budget? To create a budget, click on this create new budget. Select a category like student uniform. Give it a budget type or sports uniform. Amount 3000. Select a frequency yearly and give it a purpose. It's optional. Now here our new budget is created. Here in status you will see the budgets like how many budget is allocated and how much is spent. Like here we our budget allocated is 5000 but spent is 400, so it's within a budget. If you want to edit this, click on this edit button. Let's make the amount 50 and update. Now you can see it's over budget as allocated budget is 50 and spent is 400. You can see the stats here. Now this is how you can plan the budgets here and see all the budgets here. Now let's move on to the next section, which is daybook. This is the main page of the daybook. Here you will see the revenue and expenses and the recent transactions. Like here at the top you can see total income, total expenses and total transactions. Here you can see search the specific type of transactions, or here you can filter revenue and expenses. Now here is the date filter. You can select a specific date, like I will select this date. You will see the transactions between these dates now. This is all in the daybook section of the finance. Now let's move on to the next section, which is bank reconciliation. This is the main page of the bank reconciliation where you can match and verify bank transactions with your financial records. Here at the top you can see the overview cards like total verified transactions, total resolver transactions, total pending transactions and total rejected transactions. And here is the list of recent transactions. You can view all the records. Click on this view more. Now let's see how to start a new reconciliation. Click on this start reconciliation button. Here you can see the pending reconciliations which you have to approve, reject or adjust. Now let's start first to verify. Let's verify this one, confirm. Now this is verified. Now how to reject, like we will click this, give it a reason to reject, correct, give it a reason and then confirm. And adjust, to adjust click on this button, like you have to see the adjusted amount. If the amount is not correct, you can also adjust the amount by click, like we will adjust by this amount and give it a reason. and then confirm. This is how we will approve, reject, or adjust the pending reconciliations. And if you want to upload your bank statement, you can click here, upload a PDF file. Here you will see the details of the PDF you uploaded. Now here is all the details of transactions in the PDF you uploaded. You can also upload a new file. Click on this button. A new file will be uploaded here. Now this is all in the reconciliation section. Now let's move on to the finance configuration section. This is the main page of the finance configuration. Here you can manage and apply financial configuration for your institution. Here you can see the flow of the config, how it works. Now first create config as a draft, then you can click on the apply button here, then review and set effective dates, then live system. Now how to add a configuration, like here we will add a entity revenue and keep it in the config, like create sports shoes item, choose rate, quantity 3, then add a frequency, select the entity and save it in the config. Give it a title, description, save. Now this is the recent entity we added to the config. Now you can also delete it from here. Click on the delete button. It will be deleted. And you can also click on the apply and add invoice. The invoice will be added. This is how the configuration works in the finance section of student Diwan. Now we have this section penalties. You can see all the penalties. You can also check by the status like active, inactive, and you can add new penalty by click on this add penalty. Give penalty a name like damage property. Penalty type, you can give fixed amount or percentage. Let's give percentage at 10%. Then give the grace period time, let's say 7 days, and you can add the description. And you can set the status active or inactive, then add penalty. New penalty will be added. You can also see the details by click on this, and you can also edit the penalty. Click on the edit button and you can update the penalty. Now this is all in the penalty section of the finance.